Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In my previous video, I introduced Dynamics 365 AI offerings. So in the Canadian market, you could see my URL has EN-CA. CN means Canadian market. If it's US, EN-US, that means it's American states, United States of America. So that's the US market. So I will focus on the Canadian market. So for the AI offerings for the Canadian market, you have the sales insights, customer service insights, and the connected store. And I had the previous video to introduce the customer insights. So this customer insights is across the board of Dynamics 365 product. And the customer service insights, this is only for the, if you purchase Dynamics 365 customer service, then you have the option to purchase this. So you could see, like, under the pricing, this customer service insights is under the customer service. So this video, I want to focus on the Dynamics 365 customer service insights. So in order to get there, so you can click on the learn more, then it will bring you to this customer service insights page, and you can click on get started, and then you can sign in with your organization's URL. So similar like the customer insights. So if it's the first time you log in, then it will build you have to confirm which, if you have multiple CRM Dynamics 365 CRM instances, you have to confirm which environment you want to connect to. Then it takes a while for it to map the data between your CRM to the customer service insights. Because I already logged in, and since the process is the same as the customer insights, so I will not demo that again, just to save some time. But after you log in, so you can see I have two environments. The first environment is our sandbox. I connected to our Dynamics 365 customer service, the sandbox. And then the second environment is a demo environment. It provides some sample data for you to understand how the customer service insights works. Okay, so basically what the customer service insight does is like, it's the first time you have to tell the system. So if you go to the settings, then you go to the data mapping. So when you first time connect, then it will ask you the data mapping. So what you have to do is just to map. So in your CRM, I mean the Dynamics 365 customer service or Dynamics 365 sales, no, you won't have it in the sales also have the case entity now, right? Yeah, so you will have in both. So once you connect your instance, then you have to map the case entity to the entity in this customer service insight. So it will be mapped to the incident, but you have to select the case entity for it to map. And then so everything else here will be a default setting, and you can change that setting later. So after the data mapping, and you can see for the case title cleaning, what this means is like you can put some tags. For example, your case has an issue summary. So if the issue summary says like it's for example, it's permission issue, then you can select a tag. So for example, permission issue, then you could say what kind of permission, like a customer service permission. Then you can have a bracket as a symbol for the system to know, oh, that's your tag. So you could say permission issue bracket for customer service. Then you have the close your bracket. Then after, if you do it that way, so next time if you say permission issue sales representative, so then it will the system will know, oh, okay, you put a bracket there, bracket sales representative. So then for the system, it will differentiate. So the first permission issue is for the customer service rep, and the second permission issue is for the sales representative. And by filtering those tags means what you put into those brackets. So you could choose the like this bracket or this bracket with the so you can choose different symbols for your bracket, or you can choose a pipeline as your tag. You can say permission issue, then pipeline, then you put a sales representative permission or customer service permission, customer service rep permission. So by using those symbols, system know, oh, after that symbol, then it's the content you want to differentiate between different issues. So then later, if you want to remove like specific permission issue, then you can search, you can filter by those tags, and you can easily remove the similar issues by those tags. Okay, so this is kind of a method of grouping your cases, and then you can filter them. And then you have the topic granularity. So this is kind of it's using the artificial intelligence technology, and based on your topics. So each issue summary for your case will be a topic, but it depends on what you set up here. So if you set this up as you want more specific, then every issue summary will be a topic. And then if you want it to be that specific, then you can just drag this bar, and then it will be that specific. And if the lowest level is like so everything will be into, it's kind of the AI will categorize, group all your issue summary in 2 groups. So that's very general. And more specific is like each of your issue summary will be a topic. So I'll describe what is topic later when I show you the sample data. Okay, so that's how you set it up. And every time you change all these 3 settings, and every time you change your rename your topics, then you can refresh your you can after you did that, then you can refresh your data. And the maximum menu refresh is 10 refreshes per 24 hours. And then you can if you want the automatic refresh by this customer service insights itself, then you can have only 1 automatic refresh every day, every 24 hours. So that's the limitation for this system. Okay, so I'll leave the settings the same. I will discard this. And now, so first I'm going to the sample data so I can show you how that works, okay? So I'm gonna change my environment from my workspace, from our sandbox to this sample environment. Now I can show you how this customer service insight looks like. And you can add a workspace, but each user can only add 1 workspace. Each user can only add 1 workspace. The user can share the workspace to other users. You can see here, this button is share. So if you want to add another user to your workspace, then you can add them. So then this button is available. Just click on share. Let's go back to this environment. Then I don't think we are able to share this because this button is not available. You don't have the share button on the sample environment. Okay, so let's switch to the sample environment. And then, so this Kpi summary, you can see like the case volumes, drivers, like these are the issue summary. So this is your case issue summary. And so you can see if you add these up, so at the end, if you add up those volumes, the total of those volumes, it should add up to 100%. So you just say like how much percent this issue is taking it's like you have 12%. This issue will take 12% of your total issues volume. So, and at the top, you can filter by different period. By default, it's using the 1 week period. And but you can select other filters as well. So you can select 1 month. And then you can select the products. So you can have multiple selections on the products. And also you can have multiple selections on the channels as well. So if it's through the case come in through email or through your web or through phone or Facebook, any other social media, then you can check those channels to filter your data. So it's like Power BI. When you change these filters, then your data will change as well. Then you select your business unit, and you can select the assigned team if you have different teams, and the data will change. And case tracking, then you can see if there's any new case, resolved case. You can see the comparison for those case tracking and resolved cases by day. Then you can see the trend. So by the day 1, day 2, day 3, you can see the unresolved cases, the trend for that by day. So it seems like it's decreasing, so it's good. And case channel, so by email or by web. So you could see most of them are coming through emails or web. And the case priority, so you have different priority for the case. So this is just to have an overview of your cases. So you have 3,300 new cases, and 700 of these new cases are backlogged. You have 700 cases are backlogged. Okay, so these are some KPIs for cases, like total cases, resolutions. So you see it's more than like 60% of the cases has resolutions. Escalation. So escalation is 167 escalations among your so in your 4,051 cases, you have 167 escalations, and the service level agreement compliant. So only around over half of your cases you have a service level agreement compliance. And average resolution time, so how long is around 1 day, 24 hours. And average case satisfaction, and is 3.18. Okay, so for the new cases, then you can see a dashboard for the new cases as well, and the popular topics for your cases. By looking at this, then you could see like if you sort by the volume, then you can see what kind of cases you should focusing more. And case priority based on the high, low, and normal case priority. So most of the cases are normal. Only a very small percentage of cases are low priority, but you don't see any high priority from this priority. And the sales channel, you can see most of the cases coming from email. And case timing, then you can see the timing of the emails, case created by emails are higher than the web. And the timing is like when you receive this case requirement. So it's the time you can see. The time is like 12, so it's midnight, and 6 a.m. and 12 in the afternoon, 6 p.m. So most of the cases from here, you can see most of the cases like if it's for email, most of cases come around 6 p.m. And if it's from the web, most of cases come in the afternoon. So you can see the trend of that, how many cases, like the cases created by emails are more than the cases higher than the cases created by from the web. Customer satisfaction. So this is the driver for the customer satisfaction. Then you can see what is the driver. User asking if there will be special notifications on the discussions for back to school sale. Then the driver, then you can sort by the volume as well to see what can drive more better customer satisfaction. So user wanted to apply promo code but got code expired error. So if you can work more on this kind of issues, then you can drive better, more customer satisfaction. And the surveys completed, usually after you resolve the case, you want to do a survey to see like if the customer is satisfied about the services you provided. So, and customer satisfaction collection rate, so it's 80%, so that's pretty good. So usually the customer will provide you the result for the survey, will like provide you the feedback on your survey. So that's pretty good. And the customer satisfaction breakdown, So you can see the legend here, very satisfied. So by this visual, you could see, so most customers are satisfied, very satisfied there. Through email, most of the customers are satisfied. And but for web, so yeah, so very satisfied customers are more than the other categories. So but for email, like so very satisfied has a high percentage, and then is a satisfied, and then so very disappointed is a small percentage compared to these very satisfied plus around half of this if you add these two, very satisfied and satisfied. Then you can find some insights for the customer service satisfaction. So the average customer satisfaction, your score should be 5, and the average is 3.18. So, but the threshold is 3. So that means like your target is the average customer satisfaction is 3, and it's over your target. It exceeded your target. So this is good. And let's take a look at the resolutions dashboard. So resolution time drivers. So that's also sorted by the volume. Then you can sort by the average resolve time as well. So the volume is user wanted to apply promo code. This is still take the largest percentage in all the other topics. So and you can see the impact. So this dashboard has the artificial intelligence to analyze this impact. You see, user wants to add items to watch list and get notification when there are leads for this item. So that seems to have has a very big impact, because the impact compared to other topics. So this takes a very large percentage of the impact. Yeah, that's the highest impact percent according. So if you regarding the percentage, you can see here that has the highest impact for this kind of issues. Then you also need to focus on this kind of issues. Agents with longest resolve time. So from here, you can, from these resolutions, that you can see your agent, customer service agent performance as well. So you can see who has the best performance. And so of course, like this person, Suzanne, and for her to resolve an issue, it takes the longest resolve time. So then this performance will be the worst. And this person, Vincent, has the best performance regarding the resolve time. And also you can see the trend for your average resolve time, between your average resolve time and your new cases. You can see the trend. So this trend seems like it's a regular trend. Almost happens like it's similar like every half a month. You see, from October 13th to 20th, and this from the September 29th to around October the 6th. So it's around half a month. That trend seems to be similar, right? So you can see some trend from this chart. And you can see the agents handling most escalations. So you can see which agent handles most resolution. If you combine these two, for sure Vincent has better performance, because it takes him less time to resolve the issue, and he took care of most of the escalation issues. Okay, you can see he has the highest. So, and the resolve takes a large percent. 63 has been resolved. So of course Vincent has a better performance. You can see this easily from these visuals. And new escalations versus the resolved escalations. So then you can also see a trend, like with a different period, like if you consider it monthly or bi-weekly, then you can see the trend of the new escalations and the resolved escalations bi-weekly. Okay, so this virtual agent, I have a specific video about this Dynamics 365 virtual agent for customer service. So we talked about that before. So I won't go through this again. And So another thing I want to mention is like for this, you don't see this sample environment, you don't see topics. So let's switch to my demo environment. So this is when I connect to our Dynamics 365 customer service sandbox, then I got the data from here. So let's switch here to this environment, then you will see we have topics. I'll tell you how you get those topics. So there are some limitations, and for what kind of limitations that you can have. So what you can do in order to see there's some documentations, you can click on a question mark and see some documentations. So here you have a reference, and it tells you the service limits in customer service insights. So these restrictions, like these limitations, very useful for you to know, oh, what is the limitation for this customer service insight? Because when you do this test, then you can, when you play around with this, then you can find all these limitations. So first is for data import. So the data import is only for cases created in the last 60 days or 1 million cases. So when I just connect this environment to our sandbox, then I do not have any topics. This is blank. Then I was thinking, what is causing this? Because that limitation. Because it only for the cases created in the last 60 days, then those cases can be imported. So even when I check our sandbox and I saw there's lots of cases, and I was thinking why those cases are not in this customer service insights. Because of that, so it's not in the customer service insight. I'll show you just in one moment. So we have to, so if you don't remember the URL for your organization's Dynamics 365 customer service or Dynamics 365 sales, you can go to portal.office.com, and then from there you click on the apps, then you click on Dynamics 365 apps, and then you could see everything listed here. And so our customer service, so I'm gonna connect to this sandbox. When I connect to this sandbox, then I'm gonna go to cases directly. So you could see I have a bunch of cases there, but at the beginning they do not show up in my customer service insights. So that's because of that limitation. Only we haven't used this sandbox to create any cases for over 60 days. So that's why it's not coming out. So if you go to your customer service, then you can go to your cases there. So you can get it from like a service, okay? Then you can go to your cases. So our sandbox is still on the old version of Dynamics 365. It's not on the unified interface yet. For the unified interface, you will see everything like on the left-hand side, you will see navigation. But our navigation is still on the top. So it's still the old version. It's not a unified interface. But for any new tenant you purchase, then you will see the unified interface. Like on the right-hand side, you see the navigation for you to click. Okay, so we have this customer service, then you click on the service, you click on the cases, right? And so this is only my active cases. But if you look at all the cases, then you will see we have a bunch of cases listed here. There are 43 of them, but none of them showing up on my customer service insight. The reason is because, so you only see 7 cases listed here. And if you filter by my active cases, then you could see I have like 10. I have 10 cases here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it only shows 7 cases in my customer service insight. The reason of that, oh, no, not 7. So I should have more. So I'll tell you another limitation for this. So click on this new cases, then you can see how many is here. So I have 7, 8, 9. I have 9 cases showing up here. And but in my customer service, Dynamics 365 customer service cases, then I have 10 here. So there's one created very early. So I told you guys, like, we haven't created any new cases like for a long time, over the 60 days. So that's a limitation. Because this cases and all the other cases are created. If I go to all cases, then you could see, you can sort by the created on. You can see like those cases are all created over 60 days. Only these 9 cases are created today, because I just added today just for me to see them in my dashboard. Okay, so that's one of the limitations. Your cases need to be within 60 days for you to see them on this customer service insights. Okay, another limitation is, so let's come see this limitation, the second limitation, automatic data refresh. I mentioned about that. If you want this customer service insight to refresh for you automatically, then you can only see the latest data like every 24 hours. So it will only auto refresh it once a day. And this is a limitation. So you see the manual data refresh. So there's an on-demand data refresh that is also allowed. And so you can manually refresh the data. I'll show you how you can do that. So there's a different ways. I mentioned earlier, like you can change all these settings. When you change these settings, then it will have a notification on the top asking you to refresh your data manually. Excuse me. So another thing is like you can go to topics. You can go to your topics, drill down to your topics, and then you can rename your topics. For example, for this one, so I cannot rename from here. I can highlight one of the topic, and then I can click on rename. Okay, so I want to rename this flow connection to something else. Just say flow connection issue. Click on save. So after you did that, you notice that on the top you have this refresh notification comes up. So this is when you rename your topics or when you change any of the settings here, then the system will remind you to refresh. You can do the manual refresh. So these kind of on-demand manual refresh, it only allow you to do it 10 times a day. So now you can click on refresh. After you click on this, then you will receive an email notification saying like your environment has been started. So then you can receive after this refreshing is done, then you receive an email notification for that. So which means if you refresh your data manually 10 times, then you will receive 10 email notifications. That's a lot. Okay, so at the same time, I will receive an email notification after the data refresh. Okay, you see this email notification is coming. You can see it from this dashboard. You can see it, and also you will receive it in your Outlook. So it tells you like the space is ready after you refresh it. So if you refresh 10 times, you will receive the same email 10 times a day. Okay, so then after you refresh it, so that's it. So then you can so everything else is the same because for all my cases in my Dynamics 365, there's only 9 cases created today or within 60 days. So then you only see 9 cases here. And so we are talking about this limitation for the manual data refresh, and the data location. So the data located in the same region as if you want to connect to other data. So like you can connect to like Salesforce, or you can connect to Zendesk. So you can connect to those data as well, as long as your common data service is configured to connect to those services. But the data has to be located in the same region as your Dynamics 365 environment the data is connected to. So if you want to connect to your Dynamics 365 customer service, at the same time you want to connect to like Zendesk, but the Zendesk, that software is hosted in another country, then it will not allow you to do that, because all your data has to be located in the same country. So this is a geographical location limitation. So it has to be in the same country. And another thing is the data dashboard interactions. So this is not a limitation because it says none. So there's no limit. So that's fine. And so that dashboard interactions you can drill through. So there's no limit how many number of times you can do those of drill through some other filter interactions on your dashboard. If you are familiar with the Power BI, then you know what the interactions is talking about. It's talking about the visual on the same page of your BI report. So all those visuals, when you click on one of the visual to filter the data, all the other visuals will filter to those data as well. So they're linked together. And then you can select if you want the other visuals to change according to the visual selected or not. So there are some other interactions, like how you want that interaction to happen, like filter to that data or grayed out that data. So you have some options, the interactions you can set up on the different visuals on the same page, on the same dashboard. And connecting to a Dynamics 365 environment. So this is a limitation I talked earlier. So one user can only create one workspace. So it's one workspace per Dynamics 365 environment per user. So if your company has a subscriptions for different users, then one user can only create one workspace, but they can share their workspace to other users. Okay, topics, the last limitation you can see here is topics generated from cases. Okay, so it says topics are generated only from cases for which there are at least 3 related cases. So I'll explain that to you. So this limitation is like, if you see these topics, the purpose for this topic is to group your different cases. So I have 9 cases here. If you look at my new cases, the total of my cases is 9. I have 7 plus these 2, 9. But under the topics, the total of these is only 7. The reason of this is because of that limitation, because only this topics is using the artificial intelligence. Then through the machine learning, it's trying to group your different cases according to the topics together. So if you look at my cases, I have like maybe that's going to the dynamic cases. Then it's better to see it from here. Go to, because only under my active cases they are created today, then we can easily to see them. So this one we won't see because it's over 60 days. But for other cases, if you look at the case title, the case summary here, you could see these 4, they have the same keyword, right? Flow. So then the artificial intelligence will group them together because they have some keyword, same keyword. And then these permission issue, this and this, these 3 issues have the same keyword with permission. So that's why these 3 are grouped together. And so consider that limitation is like only you have cases, over 3 cases can be grouped together, then it will display as a topic. So now you understand why I have 9 cases, but I only have 7 cases under the topics, because only these flows, there are 4, so it's over 3 cases. So then it can group them. And these permissions, I have 3 of them, so it's also 3. Then it can group them in a topic. But I have 2 other cases created today. One is called Power Apps, one is called Test Customer Service Insight. They are on different issue summary, and there's no common keyword. So only one topic, only one issue summary for Power Apps, only one issue summary for this Customer Service Insights. I do not have 3 of this same keyword. I do not have 3 of this same keyword. So then it will not be grouped under the topics, because the similar keyword is only, it like has to be over 3 to group them together. So that's why you under the topics, you only see flow issues for permission is 3, only 2 topics. The other topics, we cannot find common topics for more than 3 cases. That's why they're not displaying here. So that's the last limitation. So then you understand why you can't see something in under topics and why the cases are not showing up under the topics. So this, because of those limitations. So this is the last limitation we can see. Okay, so another thing, if you go to these topics, then you can tell the artificial intelligence if this is accurate or not, this grouping. So if you think this grouping is not accurate, it's inaccurate, you can give it a thumb down. If you think it's accurate, you can give it a thumb up. Okay, and I mentioned you can rename it and you can search it here. So, and you can drill down to this case title to see what exactly it will bring you to our Dynamics 365 customer service directly. So they're linked together. Yeah. Okay, so so that's about this dashboard. And so I mentioned everything here. Then so everything else is the same as the sample environment, only these topics, you don't see this in the sample environment, but you have it here. Resolutions, customer satisfaction, new cases are same. And I have another video I recorded previously talking about this virtual agent. Okay, so then I mentioned you can change your environment from here and you can add a workspace from here, but as the limitation, as one user can only add one workspace, I already added one, so I cannot add another one. And this is for when you have a new notification, it will come to here. And this is the settings. You can change your data mapping, all these settings. And so we talk about the tag for you to categorize, to group those cases. And I talked about this topic granularity. So this you can give it a high, more specific setting, or give it like a more general setting. Then your topics will be changed. So if you give it more specific, then you can see, depends on how many topics you have can be categorized, then it will be, you will see more here. And if you give it a more general, you will see less topics here. Okay, so that's about it. And if you need any help to check documentation, you click on the question mark and go to the documentation. And this is your login. So this is very simple. So I don't think that's, so this is very simple, this customer service insights. Previously, it's just a dashboard under your customer service. Let's see if that dashboard is still there. So if we go to our customer service, and so previously it's just the customer service representative, it's just a dashboard. You have so many dashboard, and so you can see the customer service performance dashboard, customer service representative performance dashboard. To be honest, if your company has very limited budget, it's not worth to just purchase it separately. So you can see all these. So it just kind of summarize these together and use some AI to group the cases as different topics. I don't think it's very worth the money, because if you look at this customer service insights, it's under the Dynamics 365 customer service. This itself is around $96 per user per month. It's per user per month. It's not like per tenant per month. So this is very expensive. So if you are not using the unified interface, you are still using the old ones, you see the old customer service, you see all these dashboards. Pretty much you have what you have in the customer service insights are pretty much here. And so you can easily see them here. So I don't think it's worth to purchase separately. Yeah. So the only functionality with the AI is this part, is with these topics. And then it can group your top topics. And does that worth that much? It depends on your judgment. So to me, I don't think that it's worth that money to. And so another thing is these volumes. So this kind of resolution volumes. So this is just the regular BI. It's not. I don't think this is artificial intelligence, but this impact is kind of using artificial intelligence to see which one has a big impact. It's kind of using artificial intelligence. But in summary, from my point of view, I don't think it's worth the money to pay $96 per user per month just to get this. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's everything I want to share today. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining the session, and I hope to see you guys again next time.